Hey everybody, this is Yarince Pascual Mateo, your host here at Espera Que. Welcome back everybody to Espera Que. It is your host, Yarince Pascual Mateo. So last week we took a break because it was Cannis Media's Week of Love because of Valentine's Day, and I hope all y'all had a wonderful Valentine's Day. Again, welcome back to the show. Thank you guys for continuing to watch this. We are on episode 5. We're 5?
Episode 5. Mm-hmm.
Yes, episode 5. I forget things. I'm sorry. Other than that, the past 2 weeks was a hectic, really annoying. I mean, it was fun. So let's hit off with a couple short stories, and then we're going to deep dive into the shit show that has been happening up to now, which is we got nonviolent illegal immigrants sent to Guantanamo Bay, Trump calling Zelensky a dictator, JD Vance going around Europe telling them they have no free speech because they punish racist people, and many more. So let's get through it. So starting off, we got RFK Jr. confirmed. He is now head of pretty much most of our health systems in this country, which starting off, they just confirmed RFK Jr. as the head of our health systems and everything in the United States, which I cannot fathom the legions of people who support this man, the guy who, not gonna lie, looks like a melted Ken Barbie who just roided out and just... He eats roadkill, got brain worms. He does all the crazy pseudoscience stuff. He doesn't believe in vaccine. He is not someone. He isn't even a doctor. The last one was a doctor, but people hated her because she was trans. So we had to deal with that. Now they were like, oh, now we have this fit Kennedy. And I'm like, one, the Kennedys aren't doctors, they're politicians. And two, even by politician standards, this man isn't healthy, especially with his crazy views. Oh, black people and Jews can't get COVID, or what? It's like it was engineered. No, it was the Jews and Asians weren't affected by COVID, so that's just a double whammy of anti-Semitism and just Asian hate. So that was fun. And then talking about how black people don't have the same immune system as everybody else. Just because I have melanin doesn't change my human anatomy. We all have the same human anatomy. It's just different variations. That's how living and species work. Other than that. And now, coming off being head of that, he is cozying up to a bunch of insurance people. So yeah, after we just watch a billionaire get shot, it's just cozy up with the insurance people who are still ripping out people's lives and all that stuff just because they can't do the bare minimum to give us healthcare for the billions of dollars we give them every year that they waste for nothing. And then he wants to end drug issues by just getting rid of most medication for psychiatric and mental health. So like getting rid of Adderall for ADHD, other medicines that help out with depression and mental illnesses. And I'm like, you're just going to make the whole situation worse. There's going to be black markets. Like the drug war has been raging and we just saw drugs won. It's so obviously won. You're just giving them more ammo. Like it's dumb. And then also talking about doing work camps, some certain some Italian model of helping with addiction is to force them to do work and labor stuff. And I'm like, one, just there's multiple different studies that have been shown and proven and we done to help people. Like there is so many models to show how to help out with addiction all over the world. It's just that it isn't profitable for some people for us to do it. And it's obvious. And the other thing is like, why are we putting people into work camps because of their sicknesses? That's fucked up. Like, just give them the medical help they need. You don't need to force them to do labor for you to get better. They just need a doctor to do their job and not lose all their wealth. But funny enough, our presidency, to help out with the egg prices, is going to try to do a new plan of vaccinating our chickens, which is going to... I don't know. This is like you literally just had all the anti-vaxxers help you because you just let RFK Jr. kiss the ring. And now you're just expecting them to be chill with their chickens being vaccinated. Like the reason why we don't do the vaccination is before, because with the bird flu, we were burning the bodies and all that stuff. Now they're doing the vaccine. The reason why we didn't do the vaccine earlier, I believe, is because Europe doesn't accept any meats or produce from vaccinated animals, and money rules, obviously. So, yeah, after alienating our allies and doing that, I mean, you do you, fix the prices if you can, but this is just a powder keg ready to blow up, because I wouldn't be surprised if a faction breaks off and go lose their minds that all animals are vaccinated, and now all vaccines are going to eating like anything will give them autism because of that vaccine. It's just, that's a powder keg. Moving on from that shit show of our health system, we have the Catholic Church. Now, usually the Catholic Church don't necessarily like them. I don't dislike anyone who has the Catholic faith. If you're just a dick and use your beliefs to be a dick, I hate you for that. But being Catholic, nah, you're good. It's just the organization and its centuries of, well, you know, doing what they do best. It's hard to believe in them, but there are still good people. And they're still good bishops. And apparently a couple of them are suing the White House, Trump and others, for halting money for refugees and helping them reacclimate to our country, which, guess what? Pretty much most countries follow multiple different treaties where they are legally obligated to help refugees, which, guess what? Refugees are human beings just escaping from a shitty situation, which America was literally built for that reason. Like, I know the slave-owning founding fathers may have been a hypocritical bunch, but that was the main goal of the American dream. This is literally ingrained in our culture. And you kind of just, because of obvious xenophobia and racism and people being butthurt, yada, 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 getting lied to, yada, yada, yada. We know that. But it's kind of interesting to see some pushback, which I hope there is more pushback by more louder voices, because it's getting worse and worse each day, and we need more louder voices to speak up and stand against this. Finally, to end off today, the segment, we will say that there was another plane crash on, I believe, Monday to this day. So I would believe that would be the 17th, between 16th and 17th. They were flying from the US to Toronto. I can't remember who was leaving thing. It was a Delta airline, but it was run by a Monroe subsidiary airline from Toronto. Also, it isn't a Boeing, so you don't have to worry about their shitty craftsmanship. It ain't their fault. It was a different plane. But while they were landing in pretty shitty winter conditions, the plane kind of flipped on its side, broke its wings, and just flipped on the backside. Luckily, all 83 passengers and crew survived and are good. Some critical, but nothing life-threatening. And great shout out to the flight attendants for being calm, helping out the people, and all that stuff. But I'm not gonna lie, there is way too many air accidents happening right now, especially right after Trump, and especially with all of the firings, the gutting of the FAA. Just recently, they gutted more of the FAA. Elon and his boys just gutted a bunch of mechanics, people who are dealing with the IT, dealing with the systems, everything like that, for literal pennies on the cent, pennies on the dollar for our budget. Because trust me, yeah, is a small workforce, but those are essential staff that keep the planes in the air and not fall and kill people. Like, these are essential things. So every day there's more evidence showing that these actions are really going to hurt people, and we're seeing it very clearly in the FAA. But again, not enough. Got to see the investigation. They're still investigating this as well. And I just hope the next plane crash doesn't have fatalities as well, but we don't know. So now that we have all this out of the way, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back to hear about our fun times in Europe. Hello, everybody. This is your host, Yarince Pascual Mateo of the show Espera Que. We're going to have a long, crazy year.
As always, thank you all for listening, but most of all, it's Black History Month. It's February. And I really implore you to support the nonprofits and local businesses owned by Black entrepreneurs. Backbone of our economy, small business in America, especially local businesses, use your support. But especially this month, go seek out Black entrepreneurs, small business people, Black professionals, that sort of thing. And just, I don't know, make an extra effort. Instead of clicking on Amazon, just go by that local shop, check out their websites, and really be involved with your neighbors. If we don't take care of our neighbors can't take care of us. So, important reminder, love you all, and celebrate Black History Month with us here. Hey, let's celebrate Black History Month in February together. We're stronger together. Bye,
Happy
y'all.
Black History Month, y'all. Hey everyone, this is Christian and Jenny from the Coffee and Pandusi Show. We hope you're enjoying Espera Que with Yarince. It's a great show. Also, I want to remind you to join our show as well, Coffee and Pandusi, every Wednesday at 10 o'clock on your favorite podcast platform. And Jenny's show, Two Queers in a Truck. So
Absolutely.
Every Wednesday at 11:30.
2025 is our 2025. If I can get it out right without something like that. We've got two wonderful shows that have joined the family of shows that we've done for 6 to 8 seasons.
Yeah.
And Yarince is a wonderful host, who's a wonderful guest host with coffee, and a wonderful young man with a lot of great vision and insight. Looking forward to seeing his episodes flourish. And as always, thanks for listening. Otherwise, Christian and I would be just talking to ourselves.
That's right, and we do.
We do. Doesn't keep us from doing that now.
That's right. Enjoy the show, y'all. Bye.
Well, thank you everybody for listening to Espera Que. Thank you for being here for me. I'm your host, Yarince Pascual Mateo. I hope you are listening to us here in any of our major podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, whatever. Hope y'all have a wonderful day, and hey, let's survive this 2025.
Bye, y'all.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you for taking a break with me. Now, starting off, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. So, I believe in a few shows back, they were planning to put people into Guantanamo Bay. And, buddy, when you move a bunch of people into a certain area and put them in a very cramped space, that's called a concentration camp. That's a concentration camp. And Trump, all throughout the media and everything, is like, we're only putting the violent ones. We're only doing the violent ones. We're only doing violent. These are criminals. These are monsters. These are things. Okay. One, they're not giving us any information about the people they're sending. Two, they're not giving those people any rights or like stuff so they can call home, get a lawyer, do this, because trust me, we should not be sending people out of our country to be jailed in a different country. That is kind of cruel and unusual punishment. You're just exiling people because they didn't have the right paperwork. And worse off, there are reports of innocent people, just people who aren't violent. People who are just caught up, just sent to Gitmo. We shouldn't be allowing this. This is really bad, and it's showing how bad this is. Like, we can't be accepting and allowing our government sending people. These are people. I don't care about their damn legal status. It's just a piece of paper that says they are on this place. Immigrants, no matter if they're legal or not, are less likely to commit crimes. Want to know why? Because if they do, they get kicked out. And they're not going to risk it. They're working their asses off to have a better life. They came here for a reason, and they're going to continue to do it. And it doesn't matter if it was illegal or legal. They're still human beings. We should not be sending them to a concentration camp for bad paperwork. And I know there are violent criminals. I know violent criminals should be punished. But we should not allow the lie of justice and the lie of violence and all those horrible people when most of those people aren't doing that. And most of the people are just living their lives and are just being harassed and mistreated just because born on a different soil? Well, born on a different soil and a different skin color. Because I'm not going to lie, they sure as hell hate them, but are just ignoring Elon Musk and his multiple infractions of immigration and all that stuff and his horrible shittiness and gutting the government. But he's a white foreigner from South Africa, apartheid South Africa. So apparently, if you came from Guatemala, you're just a violent M16. What is it? M16 gang member. But if you're a literal from a Nazi who moved from Canada to South Africa, had his father get a emerald mine to be rich and become billionaires, and grew up during apartheid South Africa, he still shows some of those traits to this day. There is multiple lawsuits against him because of this. He hangs out with Nazis. That's perfectly fine and is allowed to have access to all of our personal information. So I want everyone to understand this is not good. We are in a bad situation and we should care for our fellow man, because we should not be thinking it is okay to send people to Gitmo just for crossing over a border without the right papers. Which, speaking of crossing borders, we have, I think, the assistant vice president, JD Vance, going around having fun in Europe, his very awkward and very embarrassing self, going to multiple different countries and just saying horrible, disgusting things and threatening to just cut U.S. funding and aid during a literal aggression from Russia, who is trying to bulldoze through Ukraine, which, if we allow that to happen, Putin isn't going to sit there and be like, I'm satisfied. Like, Putin's one of them. He's a billionaire. He has multiple billions of dollars. He loves wealth. He is a greedy son of a bitch. He isn't going to sit there idly after he got Ukraine. I highly doubt it. And we have J.D. Vance just egging on our allies, just disrespecting them, telling them to pay their dues or something like that, and acting like America should just pull out because we're getting the shit in. It's like, no, they're our allies. They're our friends for since World War II. Like, we need them. Just because we're the richest doesn't mean we can do whatever we want. We still need them to help us. It's more efficient to help and be charitable to others because they're going to do it to us. And I don't think pissing off other countries, talking about how they don't have free speech because they punish racists, talking about that Americans should have compassion and Christians should only have compassion for only their own citizens. That's literal nationalism. That is fucking nationalism. He is going there embarrassing us, which is kind of really annoying because he's insignificant. He is, again, the vice president assistant. He is useless. He is just put there because a technocrat, Peter Thiel, the guy who helped Elon found PayPal, they're just playing. They just bought out the government and just put their own vice president to do whatever. And he is right now destroying our relationships with our allies just so they can just look to act tough and strong for their really, really, really gullible base. How is going around all of Europe pissing off their leaders by saying that treating racists is against freedom of speech helping anyone? How is going around talking about how we should just allow Russia to have most of Ukraine, that it is naive to go pre-2014 borders? I'm like, it ain't naive. We can do it. I know we don't want World War III, but I'm not going to lie. If we just do a solid front and just do anything except just pissing off our allies, we can come to something. Obviously not giving Russia everything, which next on this list, Trump is just backstabbing Ukraine, which is wild because Trump in his first presidency tried to do quid pro quo with Zelensky so he can get dirt on Biden. That's how he got his first impeachment. And now, throughout the whole entire campaign thing, it was this whole wishy-washy about Ukraine and stuff. Now it's just very obvious that Trump is literally giving Putin a gift. He is calling Zelensky a dictator. He is mocking him for being a comedian, which, Kettle, you're calling the pop black, buddy. Like, you're a failed reality TV show. I don't know Ukrainian comedy and TV scenes and stuff like that, but that's not part of the situation. That was years ago. He's been president for like what? Almost a decade, I think? Like, he's been there for a hot minute. And it's getting worse and worse. They are having meetings in Saudi Arabia with Russia, but just letting out Zelensky? That's his country. His country was illegally invaded by Russia. It is their home. This is their land. They fought tooth and nail, lost millions of lives because a billionaire in charge of Russia wants more resources to go back to this delusional state that he's going to be like, yeah, Russia big again. I'm like, no. Like, it is disgusting to see our president blame the victim of a fucking war. Like, Russia is the aggressor. Russia is the one who went in and tried to steal stuff. Russia is the one who started committing like war crimes, bombing hospitals, killing like targets, civilian targets. Russia's the one. We were sending them aid, which it wasn't money. We were not giving them money. We were giving them all of our outdated old like weaponry that is just collecting dust. We're just offloading all of that, which I know it's billions of dollars, but guess what? Our military is like billions and billions of dollars. Like if you're upset about government spending, be mad at the government spending so much money on the military instead of education or healthcare or anything like that. But we're just sending them all the extra stuff we had in the back, which most likely was spent wasting even more millions of dollars just maintaining and containing those things. That it's just wild. And the worst part is they're trying to make this plan, which again, Zelensky wasn't a part of this, where they have to give up most of their natural resources for all the aid they got up to that point. And then they're going to plan out what they have to give up more afterwards. This is extortion. We're trying to extort someone here. We're trying to extort a country while they're trying to fight an aggressive force. Again, it's better to have to help people, to show charity, to be a good person, because most people will want to help you back, want to be around you, want to listen to you, want to help you out whenever things hit the fan. And I'm not gonna lie, it is very concerning and very alarming for everyone around the world that the United States, after one president switch, is just deciding to backstab Ukraine and many others for some stupid delusion that a racist, homophobic, ableist piece of crap person, he is a horrible human being. He is a DEI, not an actual DEI, the DEI that conservatives scream and woke, which is their N-word, that is him. That is him. He is just a crybaby with billions, which I wouldn't be surprised if those billions are just dead and he just got lucky getting into the presidency. He's just some crybaby tantrum billionaire who just allowed people to become their horrible selves in public, and now we are paying for it, and it is alarming for all our allies. And to end on this note, before we go on to break, I just gotta say is we are losing this. If you believe Trump was gonna give America the respect it's owed or something, which no, we kind of committed multiple genocides, bombed multiple countries, toppled multiple governments. We did a lot of bad stuff. We should not be praised or respected just because we're America. We should be praised and respected for righting the wrongs we done, for helping others, for being a bastion of democracy. And he is not doing that. No, he's doing the exact opposite. He is literally ripping it up, and all of these citizens all over the world is calling most of Americans idiots for not noticing this. And I just want, if those people, if somehow you got to this point, you're getting played. I'm sorry. You're getting played. I know it hurts, that guilt, that shame. It sucks. I sometimes I got scammed too. It happens. But buddy, I think after he went around trying to say his opponent wasn't black because one of her parents was Indian, or when he went around saying that Haitian refugees were eating people's pets, or when he went around saying misogynistic things, or he went around doing horrible pictures with his daughter, or when he said on recording that he likes to grab people by the pussy because he has the power to do it, or when he was impeached twice or started an insurrection, or like there was like literally 8 years of this shit you saw and should have figured it out by now. So you got scammed. Deal with the pain. I'm sorry. Other than that, let's take a break and come back to learn about Elon and his little boys. Thank you, everybody, for watching our show. Listening if you're on our major podcast platforms on Spotify and Apple. I'm your host, Yarince Pascual Mateo. Thank you so much for enjoying hearing my annoying voice, and hope you'll have a wonderful 2025. It's going to be a long one.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Hey, everybody, this is Yarince Pascual Mateo, your host of Espera Que. Well, I hope y'all are having a good start of your 2025 because we're going to have a fun, long year listening to the news.
Hey, everyone. I hope you're enjoying Espera Que with Yarince. And I apologize for stumbling over the name. It's the first time that I've talked about the show. And I'm excited to talk about it as we are offering, and you will see on our media pages, we're adding a lot of new shows that have nothing to do with me. But I'm here to talk about it because I'm kind of the company's spokesperson, I guess, or mascot, depending on the day. But anyway, it's a new, exciting, hip new show. I don't know if the kids use the word hip, but I do because I'm old. And anyway, it's getting the Latin Hispanic perspective, but from somebody much younger, from a Gen Z participant that is a young activist in our community. And Yarince's been on many of our shows in the Two Queers and Coffee family. And we look forward to hearing his opinions and thoughts. And I find this show probably one of the most interesting new shows. So check it out. It's available on our family of networks. And just like Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, as normal, all the same bat channels and all the same bat times. Come find us on Wednesday. There's something to watch every week. Anyway, thanks for listening as always, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being at our show today. I hope you had fun watching it on YouTube or listening to it on Spotify or in any major podcast platforms. Thank you for listening to our show. I am your host, Yarince Pascual Mateo, and I hope you'll have a wonderful 2025 because it's going to be a long one. Welcome back. So with Elon and his little boys, which they are, so just to catch anyone up who doesn't know, Doge is the Department of Government Efficiency. It's just some bullshit that Elon thought of on the spot, and Trump was forced to go along because Elon spent like $256 million on him, which is a drop of a bucket in his net worth, which is like $500 billion. Like 1 million seconds is like 11 days. 1 billion seconds is like a month for two. Like it is, billion is big. Billion is big. And he used literally just like 0.1% to just buy a president, which, but it is staffed with mostly just interns and like kids. Literal, one of them was like out of high school doing SpaceX work for internships and stuff like that, which the youngest 19, oldest 25. Like these are kids, which these kids, not good kids. A lot of them just posting the most horrible racist shit as they can possibly do it on X, well, on Twitter and all that stuff. One of them, the 25-year-old, he was forced to resign, and then Elon just did a poll, and JD Vance just came in and backed it up, saying like, "Hey, I know he said some racist, horrible things, which the racist, horrible things he said was that there should be more Indian hate, and he will never be in a interracial marriage, and those are like abominations and stuff." Which JD Vance, if you don't know, is married to an Indian American woman, so he was double cuck when he was going out there protecting this racist piece of crap. So, yeah, not good people. They weren't even vetted. Some of them have been fired at other jobs for doing illegal stuff like selling data, private data from those companies to other people. So, not good people. And they're going around all over the government, which is all of them. There have been reports of these annoying, like, maggots just going around messing up all of our government and shutting down the Department of Education, the EPA. They're trying to get into NOAA for some godforsaken reason. I believe it's because Trump had a little tantrum in his last presidency when he drew on a NOAA map for a hurricane for some reason. It's dumb. He's going after the FAA because Elon, it is a super conflict of interest because the FAA has been hounding Elon for SpaceX because they blew up certain launch pads. Their rockets like blew up over like the Caribbeans like a few days ago. Like SpaceX say they're going to take you to Mars, but they've been blowing up so many rockets that the only reason why it's still alive is because Elon is a billionaire, which, fun fact, most of his money is from Tesla stocks. So with him doing all this stuff, and if Tesla falls, there's going to be a crap show. And I don't know if our government's going to bail him out, which that is just so obvious corruption. I genuinely believe if the Supreme Court even allows this, we're past the dictatorship stage right now. We're just past that, which add a little side note, our most corrupt president has the most corrupt mayor, Eric Adams of New York City, the most populated city in America, on a leash because he saved them from all those the very obvious corruption charges. He was dead to rights. I don't know how he is still able to be mayor. Like, the governor had the ability to like kick him out, but she did it for some reason. And he was there when they were perp walking Luigi after they captured him for the shooting, and I'm like, buddy, the only criminal I see here is the mayor behind you. But like, most of America thinks this man's a hero. You're a corrupt, just horrible man, and Trump has him on leash. Which, again, they are getting into private personal information. They're in the IRS getting people's private information, income, marital status, where they live, social security, their kids, the dependents, their kids, their names, and all that stuff. Like, getting information and getting all this data. I don't trust Elon Musk or a bunch of little kids who weren't vetted and have shown to be very horrible people who will do horrible things with this data. Like, one of them was hosting a site for child porn and hate crime sites. So, I mean, they are bad people. You should not trust these people, and they're in our government ripping out the copper wires to sell for literal pennies. Pennies. Oh, they saved us 40 million. Oh, they saved us 60 million. Those are rounding errors. Our budget is trillions of dollars. We are spending trillions of dollars. These little cuts, which they are chopping up essential services that protect us from certain events like medical scares, like a huge massive outbreak of a new disease, or FAA, which you notice the planes are crashing recently, or the Department of Education. They make sure that people get their money and funding for their schooling, and also protect people from hate and stuff like discrimination in schooling. Like, they are ripping apart essential systems that we need for our country to work for literal cents. While they are now with moving on to Trump's tax budget, which there is one now, and knowing Congress, they're going to complain, debate, and waste everybody's time to the last minute, which Chris told me it might be March 15th. So looking back at the last presidency, if there is literally one issue between now to that deadline that Trump is going to be a baby about, there will be a government shutdown. He is that volatile. We literally saw it last presidency when he did shut down the government twice. One for the Medicaid thing, which these tax plans are going to gut as well. And also the other just for the budget again. So, again, not people to trust, especially the tax budget, which all the people who are having no taxes on tips and all that stuff, that's not in the new current budget plan. Like, there's multiple going through, and most of them are just helping the rich. They're not helping us. Unless you're making like 750,000 a year, you're not going to be helped. This is not going to help you. Nothing's going to help you. They're not here to help us. They're not here to run our country. They're here to strip us for parts and just be rich. Because at the end of the day, Donald Trump's a billionaire. Elon Musk, a billionaire. Most of the cabinet people are billionaires. Most of the people who've donated to them were billionaires. Most of the people who are going to benefit from literally everything is billionaires. Because all of us are going to have to suffer so much, we have to rely on getting a job from them while they take all our wealth from our work. It's just, at the end of the day, our country voted for the wrong guy. I don't know why so many people are so gullible. Maybe it's just because they are hateful, bigoted pieces of crap, which I know some of y'all are going to feel hurt, feel butthurt. You shouldn't call us all that. Buddy, look at your guy. Look at your guy. Harris wasn't that good, but she wouldn't be calling me someone who goes around eating people's dogs just because I came from a different country. She isn't going to be saying misogynistic, horrible things because she doesn't do that. And it's concerning that we're at a very bad point. We're going there. Like, I believe today on February 19th, the White House posted a literal picture, like it's like a Time magazine copycat of Trump with a crown saying, "Long live King Trump." This is America. I hate the founding founders who are slave owners, hypocrites, all that stuff. But I agree with them. They're rolling in their graves seeing this happening. It was on the official White House government IG account. They're getting sloppy, and they know they're going to get away with it somehow. Like, one of the judges going against Elon's access to his data, just let it through. They are literally firing the people in place to stop this, and no one's stopping them. And we're getting farther into here that after these 4 years, if Trump stays or whatever happens, we're going to hurt, and we're going to feel it very, very soon. And all I want to say is we got to keep on fighting. We got to keep on speaking. They're going to be talking back. They're going to say you're being mean. They're going to say that you're being rude. They're going to say that you're wrong. You're going to say that you're lying. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Unless they start talking and saying something with sense, actually communicate and explain some stuff, actually try to work with us, stand up and call it out. Because they're going to keep on doing it, and they're going to have their little fans say that you should shut up, you should stop overreacting, you should stop pretending that this is happening, you should stop doing this. Forget about them. We have to continue standing up. There's many people protesting. I know it's hard. I know people's livelihood, but if you can, do it. And for those losers who are saying that they are unemployed people, buddy, a lot of them are unemployed because that president over there that you like love so much is destroying their jobs just because you hate black people in jobs. Like that DEI promise they having, a lot of those people who are losing jobs are just people just making sure we're fixing the wrongs. Like, help disadvantaged communities get access to the things they need. USA going around and helping other countries, like, be progressive and be like, not be hateful and disgusting and mean to each other, like give them the support so they can show that there's enough for everybody. We need to stand up. We need to speak out, and we need to call it out, because I'm not gonna lie, if we just pretend and just ignore this, they're going to get away with it and it won't be just illegals going to Guantanamo Bay. Like El Salvador just gave us their supermax prisons, which if you were on that episode and looked them up and know how bad they are, buddy, they're crowded. There's like hundreds of thousands of them in the same room. It's lights on 24/7, no windows. They don't have any time. They don't have no freedom. They get beaten every single day. And some of these people are innocent people. Like the El Salvadorian president, a lot of people like him to a dictator. Yeah, he lowered crime, but through dictator means. Like, you can't have justice if you're just being petty and just throwing everybody you don't like into a dark box to beat them up in. Like, that's not helping anyone. So to end the show and to end everybody's night, I would just say keep on standing, keep on calling it out, keep on yelling. Like, these fascists ain't gonna do crap if we stand up and tell them to their face they're not getting away with it, and we are willing to do whatever it means. Like, violence isn't always my first option, but it could be my third. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you're gonna say some really dumb things or threaten my life or try to take away the rights of my fellow man in front of me, I'm not gonna sit there taking it. And I hope that many, when they finally come out of this fog and understand they passed the line, they admit they're wrong and take the actions to change. Because trust me, Trump didn't make them racist. Trump didn't make them misogynistic. Trump didn't make them any of those isms. They were like that already. Trump just made it easier for them to be public about it and get away with it, which they have. Obviously, when he released a bunch of them from the insurrection things and going after the people who are investigating them. So, food for thought. If you think the government ain't going to do it, they're going to do it, especially this government. And it is a fascist government. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, the president is trying to do whatever he wants and is trying to circumvent all the checks and balances that we have in place. Like, most of the things he has done is illegal. So stand strong, stand proud, and just fight back. Because at the end of the day, this is our country, and I love this country. I love the people around me. I love the food. I love the places. I love the opportunities and privileges I have. I'm not going to sit there and take it while some racist piece of crap say that all of us don't deserve this freedom except for rich white people and get away with it. So I hope y'all have a good night. See y'all next week on Thursday, and this week was long. I want to say Espera Que, but I know for a fact the next episode it's gonna be a pain. It's gonna be a headache. It's so gonna be a downer headache. I have a feeling next week's gonna be a downer headache. So hope y'all see us in any of the major podcasting channels. We'll be here every Thursdays at 7. Hope to see y'all soon. Espera Que. See ya. Thank you everybody for watching this fifth episode of Espera Que. And again, another downer. I will try to be happy, but guys, we got to keep on marching. We got to keep on standing. So hope to see y'all next week, and fuck fascists. Was that? Huh? I can't hear you right now.
That was good. That was actually funny. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh.
Oh, I was like,
Okay,
did I
no,
mess
go
up?
ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So read back. So adding that. Can we pause? My grandma's calling for me. I don't know why. Sorry about that. It looks like the cat got into my grandma's room. Okay, so starting off, we're gonna do RFK Jr. and then talk about him and his crazy imaginations and yeah. Okay, um, pause for this. What is the other two I was talking?
Airplane crash.
Airplane crash. And
Let's see. On the first segment, I think it was just airplane crash. That was it for the first segment. It was
airplane
RFK,
crash.
airplane crash.
RFK Jr.
Yeah.
Chickens vaccine. Okay,
Chickens
so
vaccine. Yeah.
Okay. Now, dang it, I crashed. So after that, we just move on to our next second. So
Yeah.
I'll just.
Why don't you just say you're going to take a break and you'll be back.
Okay.
Okay. So second segment, you want to talk about JD Vance.
Second segment, we will bring up the Guantanamo Bay, keep that things, tell that about the immigration and ICE and all that stuff. Then move on to JD Vance embarrassing display all over Europe, and then end with Trump being like dictator Zelensky and all that stuff.
Okay, that's second segment. Okay, all right. So now you're coming back. All right. Last segment is going to be Elon. You still want to talk about the tax cuts in the last segment?
Yeah.
Okay, so Elon tax cuts.
And then just ended with like the whole calling Trump. Well, I'll talk about the IG. Yeah, I'll put it in there as well.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So that's three on the last segment. All right. Bring it back.